Spurs, boys! On. Glory, fucking
What
Toro.
up, Napshot Nation? We are back for another week of not Monday night therapy, but Tuesday night therapy. We've got quite a fair bit to cover. We're going to talk about Newcastle, we're going to talk about Spurs, we're going to talk about Liverpool. We've got shitloads to cover in this episode. So before we start first, let me welcome Sunil. Sunil, welcome back after your throat infection last week. Hopefully the
It's very
Ricola
bad,
helped.
a very bad
Hopefully it's bad.
infection. Yeah, but I'm better now.
That's good. Of course, you should be better after last week's, not seventh heaven, but
Almost.
almost there. We'll get to that. Daryl, welcome back. What, it's been 3 weeks since we saw you
Yeah,
as well.
before the international break. Yeah, happy to
That's
be
good.
back.
Hope you've been well, bro. Hope you've been well.
Yeah.
And we've got a depressed, frustrated Spurs fan who's there. I don't want to ask him how he's doing, but we have to, right, Noah? Are you
I
alright?
have no words because it's the life of a Spurs fan already, lah. At this point.
I've got a song for you, Noah.
Yes. Please play.
Just shake your head.
But
So this
you know something else that's shaking right now?
What?
Arsenal.
the elephant as well. How can I forget about them? How can I forget about them, right? Hey, speaking of Arsenal, the elephant, all of these, how come a certain someone is not on board today?
Because it's Hari Raya visiting, non-stop
Oh, Raya.
hits. You know?
That's
Waiting
what.
for the
That's
sometime now.
he's been going around visiting for some time. Last
Yeah,
week
exactly.
he appeared suddenly out of nowhere from the car, and then since he
Exactly.
appeared in the car, the other Habibi comes in the car. The week before he doesn't appear. I don't know lah, Sunil. All of this, right? Seems like a very trendy pattern. That
A
when
coincidence.
including you as well, right?
I had a
Got
throat
outlined.
infection.
Could have been 7-0 FC, but then couldn't turn up last week because of throat. And
Bad
bad.
infection.
Hey, but look at me. I'm not even flu. I've got fever. I've got cough. My body aches.
You
and
got
I'm still doing
COVID.
the show.
Yeah.
No, I don't have COVID. I've tested myself. I'm completely positive. Anyway, guys, it's
Completely
good to have
positive.
everyone back.
Positive.
Noah, every time you talk, there's only one thing that's going to happen, right? And that is this. So, Noah, you be mindful of what you want to say. Anyway, guys, it's so good to be back. Even though I'm feeling down and out, I just want to do the show because we need to keep going, right? So, without further ado, let's just move into our first topic. Give me 1 second. Somebody has to call me at the wrong time. But before that, let's move into our first topic. Let's talk about these guys. Man, I mean, before we get to Daryl or whatsoever, they are slowly on the rise. I think they've got their players back who's been on out injured like Jota and Diaz, and I think the title itself says Liverpool's late push for Champions League. And what better way, Daryl?
Yeah, bro.
How do you feel? I mean, you guys are always very critical of your team, whether you've been good or bad. How have you feel? How have you been, and what do you?
No, it's actually happy to see them back, all of them back. Finally get it going. But the defense still needs to be sorted out here and there. But in terms of ambition for this year, I think there's nothing much lah. I just got a feeling it's going to be the Europa League. The way Newcastle is playing, yeah, I just feel it's the Europa League.
But why do you say so? I mean, let's take a quick look at the table, right? You guys are here, and let's be honest, right? Let's be honest.
Brighton is behind.
I mean, you are only 4 points behind Spurs, right? And then what? And another.
I think the max
Yeah, that's
we
true.
can push is fifth.
Mhm.
I think the chances are very slim. I don't see Spurs Newcastle dropping out, but if chances there, I think United might drop out. I don't see
No,
anything
but
like
I mean, let's put the top four away, right? I mean, I want to just focus on Liverpool. You guys itself, a topsy-turvy season. Let's be honest. Nobody
Yeah.
expected you guys to be where you are right now, down there. At seventh, right? And there was a point of time you guys were down as far as ninth as well. Do you think you guys have picked up steam at the right time towards the tail end of the season? Considering that even a possible Europa League spot may have been out of question.
I think it's too late like
Mhm.
what I said is now, it's too late that we pick up form just so late in the season. But I remember telling you that day also, I rather don't play Europa than play Europa next year lah. So I
Mhm.
rather like we focus on the Premier League, because Europa for me is not the cup competition for Liverpool to play now. So I rather they just focus just on the Premier League next year again.
And Sunil, that's an interesting question, right? I mean, to think
Yeah,
about it, because Liverpool is a club that probably doesn't need Europe to attract players. Let's be
yeah,
honest, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
club,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
likes of Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea to a certain extent as well. They don't need Europe to actually
European
attract the
football, yeah.
players, European football, right? So with what Daryl is actually saying, it does make sense. Why have that added games on Thursday
Yeah,
nights?
yeah.
When you can
Then
just
you play on
not have
Sundays and
on
yeah.
Sundays, yeah.
It's
So, but how? But what do you think, Sunil? Like for a club like Liverpool, or rather, a fan saying let's not have European at all. But for a club like Liverpool, how will the fan base accept it? In general, and will it really do damage to the club? I mean, not damage per se, because they are one of the best clubs in the world. Let's be honest, right? But in terms of wanting to get Europe.
I think like okay, the main incentive for Liverpool to actually get into Europe would just be the prize money. All right,
Hmm.
even if you win the Europa League, how many Europa League winners do you actually remember? No one actually remembers Europa League winners. Okay, lah, we know that
only
Sevilla
only
had like
Sevilla.
see, we all know Sevilla because they did it like 4 times, 5 times. But it's not as glorious as
Yeah.
the Champions League. Like from the top of my head, I can name the past 5 Champions League winners.
But the,
I
the
think the only incentive for Liverpool to get into Europa would be the prize money that comes with it, lah. You see, and I
I
agree
also
with
feel that Europa is just another way to go to a Champions League. The
correct,
winner
and
gets to get.
I agree with you about the fixture pileup because if you are in the Europa League, there are chances that you have to go away and like I don't know where like some really
Yeah.
weird clubs, Estonia or what.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
clubs like
Okay. That one Conference League, bro.
Is it
Europa
Conference
Europa
League?
still
also have.
okay lah. Europa still
Europa
okay,
is
not
quite hard.
so bad lah.
Yeah, but you still have to travel really far and everything. So I agree with Daryl. I said that Liverpool should just take one season, regroup, and it's not
Yep.
as if they need yes maybe one or two signings in the right places. But look at them against last week when they played. They actually had Jota back. They had Diaz back. They had a very good crux of. They had a really good crux of. And although, Daryl, I want to pick your brain on something. Do you realize that? Okay, maybe I haven't been watching Liverpool as much, lah. So correct me if I'm wrong. But Van Dijk looks as though he has lost. He has maybe he's lost a step, his pace, the way he turns. I remember
Yep, yep,
Van
yep.
Dijk
Mm.
I think
was
after the
formidable.
injury that
The
happened
injury.
like
The
2 years
Pickford
ago.
one, is it?
Yeah,
Was it the
yeah. I
Pickford?
think yeah.
Yeah. So
So
ever
I
since then,
think
even I saw the game, the way he was turning, his positioning, everything was a little
a bit slow
questionable.
now. Yeah, yeah. I agree. Totally agree with that.
But okay lah. You look at Jota. Jota was class. His finish was beautiful. I
So
think it
now
was.
I feel like Konate is like a better,
Hmm.
very
The
important
linchpin,
defender
the
for us
linchpin, the
compared to
linchpin
Van Dijk.
Yeah,
compared
Yeah.
to Van
Konate
Dijk.
was massive.
Yeah.
Konate was massive. But you see, like the way they conceded the 2 goals, it was actually very quick fire. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
Van Dijk had commanded his players, he had
Mm.
really maybe he could have done something better. I don't know. I just always had this image that Van Dijk is this formidable centre back that would really command, and he was, in the
Yeah,
title
yeah,
winning
yeah.
season, in your Champions League winning
Yeah.
season, he was formidable. But right now, I don't know. He seems to have lost a step.
No, I think you see, coming back from an injury as such, right, and that
Mm.
kept him out for almost 10 months. I think
Mm.
almost he missed. If I'm not wrong, he missed the season, or he came back with the last few games, right? I think
Mm.
it really does take its toll on you, lah. And you would probably want to be careful as well.
Even Gomez as well, when he before that he was still okay. They were praising. He was called up by Southgate. He was,
Yep.
he played well against people like Neymar. I remember people were
Correct.
praising him, but after that injury, he came back. It's not the same player again.
I mean,
So it happens.
fair enough, lah. I mean,
Confidence,
it's true. Yeah, it happens. Like, it happens to players, and all of that. But maybe what you say does make sense, like. Just let's give a season of not being in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, I would happily take that personally for you
Yeah.
guys, like, if it helps us, right?
That's because of where Villa was at the start of the season.
Yeah.
They were supposed to go down. Tips. Don't
Yep,
forget.
correct. Fair
Okay?
enough.
They
We're supposed to
were
go down.
supposed to go down. If
You
Gerrard
see,
was still there, they would
were
probably be
could
down.
have been, should have been.
Would have
It's
been,
all
would have
it's all
been.
right. Could have been, would
Yeah.
have been, right? So if Liverpool really wants to bow out of the European talk, yeah, I'll be more than happy to let you guys do that. If that means we get top 7, because right now, as we know, right, 4 teams I think competing for 3 spots is going to be quite tough, like the likes of Spurs, Villa, Brighton, and you guys. Speaking of Spurs, I think it's time, we do this, right? We do this. Let's do this, Sunil. Let's do this. Let's get this on again. Man,
Top Spur.
what a game, bro. I mean, everybody would have said, could have said, should have said we should have started with this, but no, I think we needed this at this point of time. But what a game. Sunil, Noah, I'll come back to you guys. Just hang in there. Hang in there. I honestly was watching the game. And I was watching the game, I was using my phone. And I was having a smoke, obviously, right? And I'm like, what the hell was going on? After Tamale scored the 5th goal, by the way, Daryl, Tamale is Isak. Look at him. He looks like a Tamale, right? After Isak scored the 5th goal, he had a reaction. That is the same reaction I had. Daryl, did you watch the game?
Yeah. I think the first 3 goals I started laughing already, man. Like, what the hell is happening, man?
Man,
They made Joe Linton like Ronaldinho,
I mean, yeah. I mean, we all know how Newcastle can be at home. I think they've lost once at home all season, and that was to Liverpool,
Liverpool.
right?
Hmm.
Liverpool, right? And even though that was like a 90th minute goal that Salah or someone scored. I mean, we've all gone to St. James's Park and had our fair share of embarrassment. I've endured a 4-0 defeat, but 6-1. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I thought Spurs would give some sort of. I expect Spurs to win. I thought they'll give them some sort of fight. We know how good Newcastle is, though this banner is about Newcastle pole position for Champions League. I think we'll put that aside. I want to hear about Spurs. Conte sacked. Stellini sacked. What is Levy thinking? Where do Spurs go from here? Like, we have a depressed, frustrated Spurs fan who doesn't want to say his name. So I will give him that space to talk right now. Like, Noah,
What's the fucking problem?
go ahead, bro. We don't know.
It's the whole club problem. It's a club problem. Let's be real here. Let's go back in history. We are going back in history first. Let's talk about how Pochettino was being sacked.
How was Pochettino?
Yeah, how Pochettino was being sacked after the Champions League final. So before the Champions League final, so at a point in time, was Pochettino being backed? That's the question I'm going to ask of the three of you. Was Pochettino being backed?
For me, okay, fine. I would. For me, Pochettino, I think he was the best that Spurs could have ever had, lah. For me, lah, right? I don't know if he was the man to take you guys one step further, right? Maybe we can ask the comment section as well. Do you think Pochettino is the best Spurs ever had? But for me, I think it's the best that you guys had. I don't know about Daryl and Sunil.
Well,
I second that. I think Pochettino.
who, correct me if I'm wrong, who was after Pochettino? Was it Mourinho?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say Mourinho was actually the best you've ever had, but you guys messed up on him.
Okay. But the thing was, he back in the transfer window.
Who was back? As in Mourinho
Pochettino
was back.
Pochettino back in the transfer window.
Actually, I don't think he was, and he actually still brought them to the finals, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So
They still brought them to the
take this back. Take this. Pochettino wasn't being backed. He spent $0 million, $0 on that transfer window, and we got into the Champions League final. We overachieved with that squad. with that deadwood squad, and just progress to the Champions League final. Show something. It shows something. We were fighting for 2 Premier League titles. We bottled it. Definitely we bottled it. FA Cup also we bottled it. Carabao Cup also bottled it. So let's take me through. Let me take it through lah. Why is this happening in my own club that I've levy sexuals? They're telling me, hey, my club cannot be sold lah. My club, you think what, this Shopee sell the club whatever you want, whoever you want. Hey, I know you support Spurs longer than me. I'm saying to all those people who support Spurs longer than me, I know you all support Spurs longer than me, but as a Spurs fan, I want to win fucking trophies. I want to see my club winning trophies, like trophies here and there. I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea winning titles, or even Arsenal right now. All of them are fighting for titles. There's passion, aggression, and that fight to win titles. Yet now, bro, we sacked 2 world-class managers, bro. We sacked 2 world-class managers. So whose fault is that? And we had the same squad we had during the Champions League final.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
almost the same squad. Sanchez, you have Dyer, you have Davies, you have the likes of Son Kane. Okay, Son and Kane is class. Talk about how many Loris have been so fucking peaceful. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Ever since the World Cup, he's been bad.
So what is going on? Where is the backing? Like, okay, let's talk about during that Conte season, this season. They say, oh, I put in 150 million of cash cow to back Conte. So the 150 million where? You buy average world-class players, not world-class players. These players we bought are not Champions League players.
The players this season with Conte, 150 million that was given to you guys, or rather Levy gave 150 million to Conte, right?
Yeah.
To spend. And your purchases were Richarlison, Perisic, there was Pedro Porro. Who else were there?
Bentancur.
Bentancur was last
Bissouma,
season, right?
Bissouma.
Bentancur and Kulusevski was last
Bissouma.
season, right?
Oh yeah. These two last.
Bissouma.
Bissouma, okay.
Perisic.
So four players.
Spence, the Jet Spence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
Danjuma.
Danjuma, okay, in Gen. But yeah, these are like, okay, go ahead, Noah, because I think, for a club like Spurs, and I'm not taking the piss here, top 6, right? Okay, whether it's the media top 6 or whatsoever, a supposed top 6 EPL club, right? I don't think the likes of Richarlison or, Bissouma, maybe it's not, maybe the jury is still out, right? Because he was pretty class for Brighton. But the likes of Richarlison and Jet Spence and, Perisic, is a matter of fact, yes, did well with Croatia at the World Cup, good for Inter Milan, but age, obviously, right? I think you guys got Emerson this season as well, right? Emerson Royal? Or was it last?
That was a while back.
Permanent transfer.
Okay.
Hmm.
But would you blame this on Levy then, right? Levy gave the 150 million, like, hey, here you go, take it. So
I don't know whether it was a PR stunt. I really don't know. This is the thing, I don't know whether it's a PR stunt here, but I just feel right. We couldn't even sell Tongi and Dobele with Lo Celso. You still have so many players on loan.
Yeah,
Doherty Doherty was supposed to be on loan. What happened? Oh, I forgot, bro. I used up all my loan players, bro. What the heck? Why are we struggling to sell players? Why? Like, really, why? Like, it's getting fucking annoying that as a Spurs fan here, for supporting the club for good at least 12 years, seeing my club, the same fucking cycle of rebuilding and that same shit goes on and on and on again. What are we fighting for? Oh, people, Spurs fans always say like, oh, I just want beautiful football, bro. Oh, I just want beautiful football, and then just top four, no. Minimal expectation. I'd rather be that fan. But for me, bro, I'm fucking sick and tired of people making fun of bantering about Tottenham Hotspurs. Oh, hey, this club no top bottle Spurs, bro. Like, come on lah. Like, you want to you watch football to what? Watch beautiful football. Might as well I just watch what Wrexham AFC. Why not just Wrexham is
Hey,
also winning trophies.
hey, don't talk
Let's
about
be real.
Wrexham,
Wrexham
They are
winning
class,
trophies. I'd rather watch like movies or something like that lah. That's beautiful. Come on, like
But then again, Noah, okay, do you think maybe it's time that you guys maybe you see, I don't blame you as a Spurs fan wanting trophy. Okay, don't get me wrong, right? Obviously, any fan would want their club to win some silverware, mine included as well. Okay, I mean, I'm sure it's the same for Daryl and Sunil. Depending on the stature of the club, what kind of silverware we win, right? I mean, it'll be a bit too unrealistic for me to expect Villa to go and win the Champions League or the Premier League, as a matter of fact. Sorry, Premier League first, but a League Cup or FA Cup, right? But do you think that part of this, part of this reason for Spurs fan like you to be so frustrated would be probably because of how much the media has hyped Spurs up?
yes.
And I'm not saying this to rile you up, right? Because let's be very honest, of the supposed top six club, Spurs is the only club that has not won any trophies. I don't know in God knows how long, probably since 2003, 20 years
Eight.
right now.
2008.
2008 or 2008, okay, 2008, that's what, 15, 16 years, right? So for a supposed top six club, that is not something that's supposed to be as much as, for me, if you ask me honestly, and this is something I've had for the longest time right now, right? I don't think Spurs are a top six club. You can disagree with me. I don't think on I don't know where the top six came about from. Okay, but for me, I don't think Spurs were ever a top six club. I mean, Daryl, I don't know about you guys, right? I just think this whole media six thing that was put in place was just to hype up the London-based clubs, right,
Mm.
and the Manchester clubs and Liverpool, right? Because way before Man City had the money, it was the top four, which was Arsenal, United. It wasn't even the top four; it was just the top three, which was Arsenal, Liverpool, United, right?
Mm.
And then when Chelsea came with Roman, it was the top four. And then out of nowhere, suddenly this top six bloomed because of Man City's money. But why do you think Spurs was brought into this? And could this be a reason for Spurs to actually be getting all this criticism, right?
I
Because
think Spurs was brought into this because of the Gareth Bale, when he had a very big impact of that era for Tottenham. Then
Mhm.
when they like what Noah said, they went to a Champions League final, which they would like was amazingly done by Pochettino. They even pushed Leicester, if I'm not wrong, for a
Chelsea,
title.
Chelsea, right?
Chelsea and
Not
Leicester, right?
Leicester.
Leicester season also, remember they
I
lost
think
to
both seasons.
Both seasons, yeah.
2 seasons or something like that. They pushed, so
Mm.
they were considered putting them at the top six.
Correct,
But
bro. But
okay, but what
Mhm.
I want to say is that that about Spurs is that seems like another 1 2 years time they can move away and let Newcastle go into the top six, supposedly the top six in the Premier League race. But I want to say that about Tottenham is that Daniel Levy is actually running this to the ground. This whole club is a joke.
Mm.
Okay, why I say that is because you you sack Antonio Conte, and why you keep his was he what his coach there?
Danny
Assistant.
B,
Yeah,
Assistant.
assistant. Why? I
I
also
don't
don't know.
understand why don't you just sack just both get the hell out of my club. I don't really get that point. I just don't get that point at all. Why it's so like a premature coach, like the way how they run the club is so bad. And if I'm Harry Kane today itself, I raise a transfer request. Get the hell out of the club. Get the hell. I'm sorry, Noah. Get the hell out of the club. He's too good to be at that football club. I don't care. I don't turn up for training. I don't care. I'm out of this football club once the season is over. I don't care. I'm done.
Agreed. I
I
will
want
agree
to
with
have
you.
some ambitions. I want to either go somewhere else to win something. This guy is one of the top 3 or top 4 strikers in the world today. He's out. I really
Okay.
wish this guy leaves his football club. Use
I
that
think
money. use that money. Okay, who wants to take? I saw names like Nagelsmann. I don't think Nagelsmann wants this job. I don't think so. I saw Brendan Rodgers, maybe. Vincent Company, maybe. Who else? Graham Potter, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't see
Mhm.
Nagelsmann taking.
other than that. Yeah, I don't. Nagelsmann will not go and get himself to start a show. No way.
I
Mm.
think well before that I just want to take a moment, to actually we have a new viewer who's watching us, Ian James Barron.
Hey
He's a
Ian, what's
Darlington
up?
fan. Ian,
Hi.
what's up, Ian? I hope
Oh,
you're well.
Darlington. Wow, you must be a
Wow.
hardcore
Darlington,
fan.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Like, I've never known that, they were actually bankrupt, reformed, and hope your club is doing well. Hope you're doing well, mate. And thank you for actually watching us and do continue giving us your support, mate. Thanks, man. So sorry, you're going go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, so I just said that Eric need to leave the club because his contract is running about 14 months time, another 2 years more. If I were here, I'd cut a deal with Daniel Levy and say I'd either move away for free, or you just sell me now, get some money, and go and separate ways, and you go and rebuild the club again. That's what I will do. I will do right now.
I have
And
to agree.
Sunil, before we go to you, okay, sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead, Sunil.
Okay,
I want to come back to this. We'll come back to this.
okay, I want to agree with Daryl because of the fact that in the previous few episodes, right, we kept talking about when Liverpool had a run of bad games, and then we were talking about when Manchester United had a run of bad games.
Yep.
This is quite a while back, lah. And then everyone was saying that they need a overhaul. They need an overhaul. We need to change their players. We need to change their players. The team that really needs an overhaul is actually Spurs. I think the only player from the last week's game that can walk off the field with his head high
Was
would
the keeper
be keeper. Who? Fraser Foster.
Fraser Foster, not Loris? Fraser
Yes,
Foster.
not Hugo Lloris. It was probably Harry Kane, and you could tell from Harry Kane's face that he was frustrated. He was frustrated, and investment is needed. Number one, and you need not just any Tom, Dick, Harry. Yeah, you need proven players who have Premier League experience, who know how to actually have dig the club out of this hole that they are in, and this is what Spurs need. Earlier on, you said that how was Spurs dragged into this top six thing. I would say the reason why Spurs was dragged into this entire top six, what do you call it, scenario that was painted, right, was because of the fact that they did play very attractive football. Harry Kane was up and coming. Son Heung-min, Asian superstar. They did play, but at the end of the day, they didn't win anything. They didn't win anything, but they were always like top four, top six, and they were one of the teams that people would fear. But right now, Spurs have lost. Spurs have lost
That
yeah,
aura
that
about them.
aura around them.
Fear
Yes,
factor.
thank you. They have lost their aura around them. People know that if you go to Spurs, you can possibly pick up
Yep.
points. Last time it's like, okay, you go to Spurs, it's going to be a hard fight. And yeah, picking up what Mio just said, Richarlison has been a flop.
Yep.
He
60
needs to.
million. No, yeah,
Yeah,
60
16
million.
million, and he scored 0 goals. He scored 0 goals. People giving Darwin Nunes shit for scoring 9 goals. Richarlison has scored 0 goals.
In the Premier
You
League.
know? Yeah, in the Premier League. So it's really quite shocking, lah. Because I feel honestly, moving forward, Noah, what Spurs need is they need a complete overhaul. They need a
Agreed.
complete overhaul from your defense. Your defenders were shambolic. I'm not talking about the Newcastle game. I'm even talking about the game before that. Who was it? You lost. No, draw. Was it draw or loss?
Bournemouth,
I think
is
they
it?
drew the
Something like
game
that.
before that. I think they
Lost.
drew the game
No,
before.
Bournemouth.
Lost.
Bournemouth.
Lost.
Bournemouth,
They
they
lost.
lost 3-2.
Yeah. Eric Dyer looks lost. I don't know
He
how
looks dire.
Davidson Sanchez is still playing for Spurs. There's so many players, and then your Son has just lost his aura already. Son was electric. Any point of time, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Newcastle, we would take Son in a heartbeat.
I will, man.
Right now, I
Somehow
don't
that.
think Son can break into either Aston Villa starting team, Liverpool starting team, or Newcastle starting team. And that is because of his inability to actually perform on the pitch. He's really been off since the World Cup. So I think a complete overhaul is needed, and it will take time.
And they
I'm
sacked
just
the
You see,
guy.
wondering.
They
you
sacked
see,
their assistant coach, right?
Okay,
Really?
Noah. I'm just gonna give you a time, some time to digest this question, right? And I just want to pick some comments up. I think we've got some good questions that we want to pick up, and I'll let you, go pour out your emotions once again because you really need this, bro. Anwari has asked, in all seriousness, pour your heart out like what we all have said. Can Ryan Mason survive until the end of the season? Levy looks like he's in the mood. Okay, we know what happened the last time Ryan Mason took over. Was just before the cup final, and you guys lost unfortunately. Um, Harry Kane, does this a signal of his and the signal of his association with the Spurs? Yes, and yes, who does he go to? Um, and this one from Joel. What's next? How are the Spurs fan base in Singapore able to back Levy, in the club still?
Okay. I just want to say I just want to reply to his Sunil's comment also. Sunil whatever he said.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Overhaul but for what use? Every time the thing is right, even if we don't even overhaul also, I don't think it will ever happen. You know why? Because no club want to have them. Tell me which club wants to have Tongi and Dombele or
You see, bro,
Sergio Regulon. Like
I think it depends. That also depends on your scouts and your. You see, loaning a player out. There are also people for that. There are also staff for that. To find a
Mm.
club where they can probably loan the players out. So
but some of the clubs don't even want them. So
mhm.
it just
No,
speaks volumes.
no,
Like
no. I feel that Richarlison is not. You saw what he can do in the World Cup. We saw what he can do. Maybe you need to get a very good manager to bring the best out of him. For example,
yeah, I agree
you
with
understand
that
what I'm trying to
because
say? Yeah,
Richarlison does well like with Vinicius and all around. So he needs to play as a striker and he needs
yeah,
players around him. He needs a system. He's a
yeah.
system player.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I think he's not a flop. Like now, right now, I don't think he's like not really a flop yet. Because he does produce moments and he's not really playing much. He's not even starting. How many starts has he had? Like very
Mm,
little, lesser than his like what I've ever imagined. Because Kuluveski obviously is starting and Danjuma. Why did we even get Danjuma for?
mhm.
He's a
Mhm.
very class player, and I really rate Danjuma so highly.
Mm.
And he look at the goal against Bournemouth. He produced that. He has got one more goals than the bloody Richarlison there. So what is the problem? Like this is where I think I'm done. I'm done ranting because at this point, this club is unsolvable if Levy doesn't leave or Enning doesn't sell the club. It will never change.
No, because I was reading some things about Spurs because they invested on the stadiums, and the training ground, so they couldn't pour a lot of penny into the club. And I also read up that they were, when Liverpool was on sale and United was on sale, they were also QIA Qatar investors were actually wanted to invest in a London-based club, and one of the names was Spurs because it's a win-win situation for them. Yeah, so if I think Levy is also trying to look for investors to actually invest on them as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
And okay, Noah, you have to pick this call. How is the Spurs fan base in Singapore taking this? How are they? Like, I mean, I'll be honest, right? I saw you did post something about how when Stellini was sacked and how Levy has to go along with him, and we did see some comments, and I'm assuming these are from your fellow Spurs fans in Singapore. So obviously everybody has mixed opinions, split opinions. We know where you are standing from, and obviously you did mention earlier some of your Spurs fans in Singapore are just content with a top four finish, right? But what is the majority? How is it looking like? What is the just for context? When Villa went down, we had a very very horrible group in Singapore, which was everybody was nasty, and the mood was down. How is it at the Spurs camp?
Um, from my own chats, my WhatsApp chats with the Spurs group. Um, I mean, there was this comment. I mean, there was or why was Stellini sacked or something? Is it like why was Stellini sacked? But why does who's the one who put Stellini as the
Interim manager.
interim manager. You know what they say? The Levy out brigade.
Uh-huh.
So I don't even know why Levy out brigade has to do with Stanley being in charge of the team. I believe right, it was being pointed at all the Levy out people, which is, I think that's rubbish. That's totally rubbish. I never want Stanley in my as an interim manager. I never had the idea. But let's be real here. These Levy brigade in people are the ones that are sucking cock to Levy every fucking time. Wow, I remember I always post on bloody Facebook though, Levy out, ending out. Oh, then you think so easy to sell the club? Can like do from Shopee bro. Every time it's like that, Then they come with, and obviously like, huh? I never said it was easy to sell the club. I would say that wasn't easy.
Mhm.
I want the club to be sold soon. Before I go into heart attack or any health diseases, Because it's freaking annoying, bro. It's bloody fucking annoying that my own club fans say that Levy is doing his job, bro. Levy is doing his job. He's putting money, bro. He's putting
Noah,
money for the club.
somebody
He's
showing
doing
you some love, Noah. Don't say horrible thing like that. Like that thing, okay?
Yes,
That thing is only for Arsenal.
I think only for
Yeah.
us.
Okay, Arsenal and their thing.
Sorry, Sunil, you're going to ask him something, right?
Oh, totally forgot. Never mind, go
Okay.
on. Yeah, the
But
next one.
okay, no one. I think Joe has a good comment as well, right? Where
Yeah,
where
I
we
saw
saw
that
they're
as
both
well. Yeah, this is
Lucha
a
and
very
Kane
good comment.
tonight,
Yeah.
but your managers keep playing as wing backs and wingers, and you know how Conte plays, right?
Yeah.
And he also follows this up with this, which is true. Most of it offsides goal were from a position of being a number 9. So
Yeah.
you know, and if I'm not wrong, correct me, guys. In Everton as well, he was that
Yeah.
striker, who played off. If I'm not wrong, played off Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? Or
Hmm.
either one. Calvert-Lewin played off him, and he did score the goals, right? So we know Richarlison has that player in him where he has the goals in him. So sell Kane, put Richarlison as your number 9,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I
then
agree.
strengthen the other areas. Maybe your
Yeah, with the
defense
money,
need to
yeah.
be strengthened. Your
I
midfield,
agree.
maybe, yeah.
Agreed. Sell Kane. Serious. Why is he wasting his time there?
Do you
Why
know?
is he wasting his
I
time in
just read
Spurs,
on
bro?
Twitter. I just read on Twitter that Levy is trying to give him a new contract.
You know what he said
There.
this week? You know what Levy said this week? He said that Kane is a player that Spurs wants to build in because he believes Spurs will win many championship and Kane will have a statue outside Tottenham Stadium.
Championship, we're talking
Don't
about
be a
the
bully there, lah.
EFL championship after they get relegated, is it? That one got chance lah. Maybe that one they'll bottle it.
Honestly, this Levy is a freaking punde, The most punde fella, most bodoh sapi set fella I have ever seen in my own life, Bodoh kambing, that fucker, just shut the fuck up, lah. Serious. Like, what the whole line of message, ultimately it's my fault, lah. Like, no, my club became that, my club is like that now. Hey, no fucking shit is your fucking problem here. No fucking shit, that's your fucking problem. Because this club is now in this state is because of the fucking Enik, your lead, and the whole Levy situation. The players are let's be real, they're not motivated, lah. So whatever, lah. Players is shit. Manager, forget it. No need to say. We just set 2 world class managers. Enough said already. Like I said, I'm a depressed, frustrated Spurs fan. I'm not
just for
watching
you.
West Ham, bro. I'm watching West
Ju-
Ham FC, bro.
No, just
I
for
think
you.
we-
Before we go ahead. Sunil.
I think we need to. Okay, like at the end of the day, yes, they've had a bad season, but they are still in 5th position. Are they 5th now? Yeah, they're 5th in
Yeah.
5th
Bro,
position.
let's not even go there, bro. Their fixtures are horrible.
Yeah, okay, yes, their fixtures are horrible, but okay, we need to temper our expectations, lah. It's been a poor season for Spurs, lah. They might
Yeah.
finish out of the European
Top
spots.
8, yeah, they might. There's a very high chance
Yeah,
if you're
correct. They
talking about
might finish out
Liverpool,
of European
Brighton,
spots,
Villa, and yeah.
but if you maybe next season will be better, you need to change a lot of players, lah. You need to change the mentality. You need to have wholesome change all over before we can
We're back
even
to
think
1-4, bro. We're back to
Bro,
1-3, 1-4.
No, but okay, think let's look at this point before we wrap up, right? If Spurs can do that overhaul that they do next season, get in the right appointment, and and get the proper players and the system needed, and
Mm.
together with Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal, City, United, and hopefully Villa as well. I think it's going to be a very good competitive league, and Brighton, right? Competitive league next season, not only for the title but all the way down to the European spot. And I think that's
Yeah.
what we would eventually want instead of the usual runaways, right? So let's break the top six Sigma. And before we move on next topic, Noah, I hope
Deeps
you
just
had
wants to put Villa in that conversation.
have to,
Exactly.
bro. Obviously, we're gonna be
Exactly.
there,
That's
right?
so only.
Hey, we have to be there. What we are six in the table right now, bro. We have to be there, right? But Noah, I hope you had a good therapy for you. I mean, obviously you feel better, but one thing you just need to do, bro. Okay, just dance. Okay, just dance. Just shake your head. Just dance. That's all you need. Okay, that's all you need, right? All right, guys.
Goyang, goyang, goyang kepala, goyang, 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 goyang kepala.
Okay, guys, we gotta move on, right? Let's take a break from this European chasing sports, this Champions League sport. This Arsenal, Man U, whatnot. They didn't even play. Let's not even talk about them. Let's take a look at the relegation watch, right? Leicester finally won a game. Do you think that that they would be able? I mean, we all ask this question every week, right? And they're currently sitting outside the drop zone. And I think we ask this question every week. But with Leicester, Dean Smith in charge, they won a game. Quickly, let's take a poll. Sunil, do you think they'll survive?
Yes.
They'll survive? Okay, Daryl?
Yes. They will survive.
Yes.
Okay. And Noah?
I think they'll survive.
Mm.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, let's move on. I think that's all we need for the relegation watch, right? Because we've been talking about it the same thing
I think
every
it's
week.
yeah, I think it's the same thing that we've been doing every week because
Yeah.
every week we have right now I think more or less we can say that Southampton is good to go. Lah.
Good to go, lah.
Right.
Good
I
to
think
go.
But at the end of the
Leeds
day,
also maybe.
yeah, Leeds also good to go. But at the end of the day, every other week, some other team is popping up with points, and the
Yeah.
entire relegation battle is just topsy turvy
I,
again.
I
So
think at this point
thing
of time,
is-
only a few teams are safe. Like, I think Wolves, Palace, and West Ham are
West Ham,
more or
yeah,
less
I
safe.
think they are clear. Yeah, I think they
They are
are clear. They are clear.
So
Hey,
it's down to
West Ham semi-finals, Conference League.
Yep.
Okay, they're doing wonders.
And if they win, that's Europa League next season for them, no? And
Correct.
I think that is pretty good because
Yeah.
if they manage to survive, and I think they'll survive, getting Europa League, they may be able to add on, and I think they could also be a good team next season because they already have those players that are
Yeah.
pretty decent, right?
Right.
So but hey, I just got a message lah. Somebody just texted me and he's saying that, hey, why are you not showcasing my team? Shall we just showcase the team?
Sure,
Yeah,
go
what
ahead.
team?
Let's talk about this one.
Oh,
Arsenal. Like, he doesn't want to come on board because of Raya visiting, but then he wants us to talk
But he's
about
listening, right?
But he also
But he's
putting comments
Yeah,
on.
okay,
so
great. Let's go.
Arsenal at the Etihad. Okay, before we all do anything, give our thoughts about this, right? The last two times where Arsenal had to win to actually win the title, they came up against United, I think in 1998, and I think that was against Liverpool in 2003. And both games they had to win the title, and they went on to win those games, and they went on to win the title. Could they repeat this? Could this be a third time charm?
No,
See,
they will.
from-
Can Arsenal get 3 points in Etihad? Yes, they can. But they still won't win the league. That's my point.
Why though? Because
I
if they
don't.
get
They,
the
they will
3
still
points,
drop
they-
points.
yeah.
They will still drop points. 100%.
Let's take a look at this very quickly, right? So they are currently on 32 games played, right?
Yep.
5 points ahead of City, and City has 32 games in hand, right? 2 games in hand. If let's say Arsenal beats City, that's an 8-point lead,
Yep.
but City has a 9-pointer to play for. Do you think
Yep.
that is the reason? No, I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm wrong.
No, 6,
No,
right?
I'm wrong. Still six.
Yeah.
6 points to play for. So, which means Arsenal still has the 2 points buffer with 5 games left to play after this weekend.
Still,
What do you?
they will drop at Newcastle. They will draw at Brighton.
Mhm.
They will still cock up something. Trust me.
But I
But
think
I was surprised that they cock it up at Southampton.
I
And
think
Liverpool.
um, I just share a very quick just a very quick story. So outside my school, there's a 7-Eleven. So today I was talking to the cashier at 7-Eleven, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he was telling me that if they do bottle the title this season, right, he will be super devastated because so devastated that he even compared it to breaking up with his girlfriend, who he loved a lot lah. But then again, lah, timeline. Yeah. So what he said is, at the start of the season, right, their expectations were top four
Mhm.
because they finished out of Europe last season. The expectations are to actually get into the top four this season. Having led the league for, I don't know, 28 game weeks at least, or 27 game weeks, I think they were right up there. Correct me if I'm wrong lah. 27 game
And they
weeks or
were leading by 8 points.
yeah, and they had quite a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
lead. Everyone was thinking. Even I came on the show and I even said that the Reece Nelson winner in the 93rd minute. I said that is going to be the catalyst, but nobody expected them to drop uh, points over the past three games.
Yep.
You know, and the way they dropped points, it was actually quite shocking to see. So I
I
think
think they drew their last three games, right? 3
Yeah.
3 2 2 and
yeah
2 2, right?
You know
yeah
what's the
I
problem
think I
there?
think this Saliba is a big miss.
yeah
for them.
he's a
Yeah.
big miss.
So
Tomiyasu
Ukraine
is a big
holding
miss
for
for
what,
them.
sir?
Tomiyasu
Ukraine
is a big
holding
miss for
is
them as well.
officially a loss already.
You see, okay, before we go into Holding and Saliban, yeah, that game against Liverpool, I think, was when this winless run of 3 games started, right? And that's the first game where Saliba was out, was it?
Mm.
I'm not sure about that.
Mhm. Not
Yeah,
sure.
so yeah, I think it started with the 2-2 against Liverpool, 2-2 against West Ham, was it? And then 2-2, 3-3 against Southampton.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's oh my god, that's 6 points drop from potential 9.
Yeah, and like if you are fighting for the title, like you cannot. Okay, yes, I mean, nobody has a unbeaten season. I mean, not unbeaten season, like wins all the way, lah. Because Arsenal did the unbeaten season. But if you had dropped points in one game week, I would expect you to at least have the mentality to make sure you go out all out, and you tell
Mm.
yourself that I'm going to pick up points the next game. Q Newcastle, for example, I'm not trying to butter my team up, but we were thoroughly beaten at Villa Park last week,
Yeah.
and then this week we know that okay, this is a big game against Spurs, top
Spurs.
four top four contenders. You see, so we really need to go out. We need to send a message. I feel like they didn't have the
Yeah.
urgency. They didn't have the leadership, maybe. Yeah, to actually finish the games. And if I'm not wrong, they got a draw in the last minute.
Yep.
Yeah, 93rd minute. So they were actually quite fortunate not to lose.
Guys, I'm sorry,
Newcastle
I'm lost.
this weekend. I think they don't have to face Spurs again, lah. Poor thing. How many times you gonna face Spurs?
I tell you, these fellas are obsession for. So,
I
he,
feel
he
it's
never
already
fails.
over lah
He never
for
fails
Yeah.
to
One thing I want to
humor
say
me,
about this title run, right?
Yeah.
I think I've been as a Liverpool fan, I've been 3 seasons with Man City chasing them. The
Mhm.
first season we were 97 points, they were 98 points. I lose the
Yeah,
title by
one
1.
point,
The
right?
second season is we won the league by 18 or 19 points, something like that.
Yep.
Then the third one was the last year one. Also we
1 point.
were 93
1
points,
point.
we were 92 points, something like that.
Yeah, 1 point.
So in every time in this stretch of the season, you City very rare
Picks up.
they will drop a
They
point.
pick up. They always pick up
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
They just pick up and just they don't stop. I also be like praying, oh please drop, but it never happens. Never happens. And I feel that Arsenal need this experience of chasing them so that maybe next year they will know what to do.
But
Correct.
here's the thing, right, Daryl? Next season, we talk about next season.
Yeah.
You see, it's this season. Honestly, is a very off season, and we all know it's partly down to having the World Cup. In between, back in December, league got stopped, right? But next season, do you really think that Arsenal would have the capacity to actually be in this title hunt? Up till what, May? Let's say, and I'm only saying this, you see, because we know Man City is definitely going to be there, regardless, right? And I'm going to go out and say, Liverpool would probably, have, with how they are picking up steam right now. I don't think, and Sunil has said this from the start of the season, Liverpool is not going to have a second bad season, right?
Mm.
We're talking about Chelsea as well. They have that players there. If they get that right manager and like what Joel has said, they can unlock. That's going to be another team.
Mm.
Newcastle, we cannot leave them out. And I'm not saying this
Yep.
again to butter Newcastle up, but once they get Champions League spot, they have that
Game
spending
over.
power
Yep.
to get the player. You know, United with Ten Hag as well. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just bow down and see they're going to be
Seven
shit.
Hawk. His name is Seven Hawk.
You know, so with potentially five teams, right? It's going to be very hard for probably Arsenal to repeat this.
I think it's gonna be very painful. This loss, if they lose, let's not take away the fact that they are still top of the table. They're still top of the table. They still have 5 points. Okay, yes, games in hand, so on and so forth. Pressure is still on Man City to do their part. All
Yep.
right, but I feel like if they do bottle it, this is gonna be one of the most painful ones because I think it's been 19 years since they won the
19, yeah.
title.
Yep.
And to have such a stunning run, I think there was maybe like 10 games or something. They were
Yeah, they
they
were on a roll, literally on a
they
roll.
and they played good football. They were
Yeah.
embarrassing teams. They were passing the ball. Odegaard was a wizard, and what's the name? Gabriel and Saliba. They were rock solid. No, so for them to actually have this kind of season again next season, wow, I think it's gonna be very tough.
Yeah, it
Not
No,
is.
you see, no, I
keep them
want to
out.
see.
Hmm.
No, their defense have been bad for the past three games, right? Because
Yeah.
of no Saliba and no Tomiyasu. Because I feel if Tomiyasu was there, he would play right back or Ben White would play centre back or something like that.
Hmm.
But I feel that their defense has been bad for the past 3 games. Gabriel without Saliba beside him is always prone to make mistakes.
Yes,
He's having a
yes.
good season without doubt, but he's always have that mistake kind of player with him. And I also feel that this in Etihad holding is Haaland is just going to be too much
Correct,
for
correct.
holding.
And that's
I
bring
don't.
bring back to what Noah said earlier, right? Holding, right? And I read a few. I've read a few on news on Twitter. And again, we're not Arteta. We don't see the team train. Drop holding, move Ben White back into the center.
But don't have
At
right
center
back.
back. Play Thomas Partey as right back and let Jorginho be in the center CDM role.
Thomas, but I don't know.
Bro, some Arsenal fans are even saying that just to drop Rob Holding, but it's so evident, right? Because I watched that game against Southampton, and I think the Arsenal players themselves knew that if they're gonna bottle the league this season, that's
Yeah.
gonna be very painful because
You
everybody
can
was
see in their faces that they
you could
knew
see in their
it's
faces, yeah.
Yeah, this
That
will be painful. Yeah, it'll be very painful for them.
yeah, it'll be very painful. And I don't know, man. Like guys, the rest whoever watching, do you think if Arsenal doesn't win the title this season, do you think there'll be a chance next season? Right? I mean, put in your comments. I personally think that if they don't win it this season, I think that they are done for. I will go all out and say I don't see them competing for the title again. Maybe in the near future, because it's not going to be easy unless some miracle
it all,
happens.
all depends on what Man City does.
Yeah.
Again, it all depends on what Man City does. Like now, if they go in and get Jude Bellingham, players like that, we don't know. But it all depends on what Man City does actually. Really, I feel that Arsenal can be title chasers, but they need to know after this season they'll realize that okay, this is the benchmark to win a title. At least compete for the title, you need 90 points in the Premier League. That's what the
Yeah,
benchmark Man City and Liverpool already set that benchmark. But it all really depends on what Man City does. I feel.
Daryl, I want you to pick up this. I want you to actually answer this question, and I think that let's look at this question from a legitimate point of view instead of a banter, right? This question,
I read that from Rio Ferdinand. You
yeah,
think United
Yeah.
will win in a second and United finished.
Okay, this narrative is actually from Rio Ferdinand, right?
yeah, from Rio Ferdinand actually, yeah.
Yeah, and he says that Manchester United had a better season, right? Okay, my take is I would still personally feel that if you define a better season as trophies, then yeah, okay. Who knows? In that case, even West Ham had a better season if they go and leave the Europa Conference League. But at
True,
the end of the
true.
day, I feel that Arsenal did have a better season. They did go out and they gave City a very good run for their
And,
money.
and it's not a normal City team. It's like probably go down one of the best Premier League teams ever. This
Exactly,
Manchester City team. Yeah, it's not.
with that machine at the front, it's crazy.
Yeah. And what Joel says makes sense as well. They went out on all other competition. I see.
Yeah,
I
just to
don't know if
focus.
they went out
Yeah,
on. I don't. I will
yeah,
not say that they went out on purpose. I
purpose.
don't think
Yeah,
they went out on purpose. But yeah, I mean, he does make a point. Only EPL to play for, and I don't know. I mean, with
just I
Arsenal,
also feel inexperience also play a part.
yes,
Them
Yeah.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
I think what these boys need to do, right? Because Saka, Martinelli, they're still in their early 20s, and Odegaard is still in his early 20s. In fact, the Arsenal, I think the age is probably one of the youngest in the league, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah,
The
yeah,
best bet for these boys is to get the Champions League position, because I think more or less secured, right?
yeah.
Build on that, make the reinforcements needed, and then if Arteta is still around, I think he could probably get them to push all the way. Don't know if they will be this close, but one can only hope, lah. And with that also being said, right, Sunil, another fella, I don't understand, guys. These people, they don't want to come on the show. These Anwari lah and all of that, but then they want their teams to be covered. Look at this fella.
Where the mighty
He's
devil.
the Mighty Devils, I think, from Wembley going back to Manchester after what winning on penalty, right?
Okay, I think
Penalties
okay.
lah.
Okay, lah, we do a quick one for the
We'll do a
devils.
quick one, lah. Quick one, lah.
Okay.
Okay, all
So
Manchester showdown, guys.
Okay,
I think
who's
it's done.
gonna win?
I think wait,
Who's
wait.
gonna
I think
win
this is
the-
the first.
Okay,
Who's
who's
gonna
saying
win the
Man U will
treble?
win?
Sorry, this is the first FA Cup final between Manchester United
Yeah,
and Manchester City, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. I will go first. I'll go first. All right.
Okay.
Legitimately, Man City have a very good chance of doing a treble this
Yeah.
season, and it's that Sir Alex Ferguson treble. The
Yeah.
FA Cup, the Champions League, the only one that matters, lah. The FA Cup, Champions League, and the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah.
And I think once Pep will go all out, but it will be a good fight, lah. I mean, we cannot discount Manchester United in a final. And Rashford is back. The only thing that I would be worried for Manchester United is their defenders. Luke
Maguire.
Shaw is being played as a centre back.
Mm-hmm.
He's
It's
much
better than
more
Maguire there.
he's much more efficient on the left. Who's on the left now for Manchester United?
Dalot.
Malasia, right?
No,
Dalot,
Dalot.
Malasia,
Malasia.
Right.
Dalot.
Yeah, so I feel like the only thing that can possibly come and bite them in the ass would probably be the fact that your defense is haywire right now. Varane is out, Lisandro Martinez is out. I feel that can be a big problem because I don't see who's gonna stop Haaland. But then again, it's a cup final. Anything can happen.
Somebody has to stop Watkins this weekend first, lah, before they can think about stopping Haaland.
Who is Watkins? Who is Villa against?
Man
This
U.
Saturday, this Sunday, you coming, right? 30th of April.
Oh yeah. Of course lah.
Oh, yeah, lah.
Yes,
I already told
lah.
Daryl already we are going.
Yes. Biasa. This one we
Okay. But that aside, let's come back to what our predictions are, lah. Like Wembley, the scene for the Manchester Derby, like first time ever FA Cup finals, bragging rights at stake, probably a treble for Man City. However, I don't know. I just have a feeling that United might go all out to win this. I think they may nick this. I don't know. I may be wrong, but this is what I feel.
Yeah, I think just to prevent them from getting the treble, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you ask me, I would say Man City. I would say Man City because they still have too much firepower, but I don't think this is gonna be a whitewash. All right, I don't think this is gonna be.
Victor makes a good point as well.
I
Right?
think Lucho, Lisandro is out of
I
the
think they're
season.
done. I think they're done.
I think Varane maybe got chance, but I think Martinez is out of the season.
Yeah, but okay, maybe he's back. Even if he's back, then maybe it'll be a bit closer lah. But I still see City winning this. But it won't be a whitewash. Maybe a 1-0, 2-1. Rashford played the entire game that day, so Rashford's back to full fitness.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when Rashford's there, you always have to give Manchester United that chance.
True. Okay, so you are going with City 2-1.
I would say City
Well,
2-1 or 1-0.
I mean, we will probably cover this again as we get closer. But okay, City 2-1 early predictions. Okay, Daryl. I mean, obviously, you probably would love City because of your hate for United, right?
Yeah, but I also think City will win. quite comfortably also.
Quite comfortable.
Yeah, 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Noah?
I think City will win this game. Lah. I don't see United winning this. Never. I also don't want to see United winning anything because everyone in these comments. Okay, lah, joking lah,
they already
but
won
But
you
the
then
know
again,
I
I
treble.
don't want
disagree lah.
I don't want City to win the Champions League also lah. So I don't care about the treble lah. Just don't win the Champions League.
I think the Champions League, it might be a bit tough. I mean, yes,
Joking lah,
they
we
probably
want.
can go out, but they have to play Real Madrid, and Madrid is a different beast in the Champions League, right? So I don't know how they are. But Ridwan, I understand you're in camp, but you are in camp, but we don't want you to go live. Look after the
Yeah,
country,
focus on the country.
focus on looking after us. We need people like you. That the civil defense personnel, right? You can always come live after that, right? And stop talking about City and Wembley half full, half empty. You want to kena, you're gonna kena. So with that, guys, I think okay lah. Noah, let's just, I mean, not Sunil and guys, let's just do this very quickly lah. Okay, we, even though we decided not to, right? Is Poch the right
Okay.
fit for Chelsea?
Okay, so I think even Fabrizio Romano reported this, right? He reported that they were in advanced talks,
Mhm.
and he's actually going out, and he's actually had a plan on who he wants and everything. If you ask me, is he the right fit? I would say because he has that players, he has hit those like that massive club
Yep.
and that massive spending spree. I don't put it beyond them to actually go out and get another spending spree. Yeah. If he decides that he wants to have some more players, lah, maybe tie them up to like 8-year contracts or 9-year contracts. Lah. But he's got the experience in the Premier League. He's got a full pre-season, and most importantly, he's a fresh coach. He's coming in with the backing of Boli, so he'll probably do well. So that's why I say, Chelsea next season, don't count them out.
Yep. Daryl?
Yeah, I think
Poch, right fit
he's a
for
good
Chelsea?
will be a good appointment for Chelsea.
Mm.
I think the guy is EPL proven. He knows what he wants. As long Todd Bowley don't go and interfere in what the hell he wants, lah. Don't go and buy his
Exactly.
players and destroy the team and stuff like that.
Fair enough. And no, I'm not even gonna ask you because we know how much you love Poch. So you probably
Maybe go and get Harry Kane from Spurs. Chelsea, you could throw the money and just get Harry Kane from Spurs. The reunion of
and I think Noah, you should, and I think Levy should sell, because if Chelsea, right, you can always add
they'll
that
buy for
English
200
tax.
million.
Yes, add that English tax, and we can do the overhaul, right? Okay, let's just take up a few comments, guys. I think let's just take a few comments. Why haven't Todd realized Mourinho is a better fit? Victor, I think Mourinho is done. I don't think Mourinho is.
No, Mourinho is never
Nah.
coming back to.
He's
I don't
never
think he's
ready,
coming
yeah.
back to England.
Yeah, England.
Yeah, yeah.
He's done with
Let
England.
alone Chelsea. Let alone Chelsea. And Joel, if Arsenal win the title, would Arsenal have matched Liverpool's greatest? This one, I think Daryl will answer
Maybe,
you in
yeah.
private, lah.
In Premier League
With
era.
one more Champions League, yeah. Then we can have a conversation.
No more Champions League. All right, I think, fellas, I think with that, right, we want to just say, it's been a great show. Yes, we didn't do it 2 hours today. I think all of us, I think we did cover a fair bit. Noah, are you feeling better? I hope you're feeling better. So you need to have that smile on your face, right?
I'm the depressed,
You know what,
frustrated.
did you check out this guy expression on Spurs TV? Wow, the guy was damn funny, man. You
I
check out
love
that guy.
expresses a lot, bro.
Yeah, his reaction for every goal was damn funny.
It was a
Oh
therapy
yeah.
session.
The black guy, right? The black
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
was in
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Correct.
It's like Isak, Isak scored the 5th goal. He himself don't know what's happening.
yeah.
All right, fellas. Thank you very much for another good night. So, and to everyone watching, thank you once again for watching. Thank you for your support. Daryl, Sunil, Noah, thank you for your support. Guys, we'll be back next week, same day, same time.
Hope
hopefully
Anwar
this
is
time-
back next week.
Hopefully, no more Raya visiting.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
no
Awar is
more-
out of his cave.
Yeah,
the
and
elephant cave.
this fella, him and his work suddenly got work.
Rain check
Hopefully no
FC.
shit for you. Rain check FC, and with that being said, this is your boy T-Burn, Sunil, Daryl, Noah, out. Have a good night,
Out.
guys. Take care.